Hi, this is Wes Martin at ClearTouch Interactive, here to show you some of the new 6000 series panels. Today I've got a 65-inch panel here, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit about how this looks with the Android as well as how it looks with the PC. Some of the things that you need to know about these 6000 series panels from ClearTouch are that they're really easy to use, and right out of the box you're able to go out and start immediately getting training and things with our Getting Started page as well as our ClearTouch Academy. Some other things that we want to show you as well is that we have lots of software that are on these panels. So right up front, when you start working with this, you can immediately walk up to the panel and start using. So in this case right here, all I did is just walked up, pressed Note, and I can immediately start writing up there. Notice that I use my finger. It has multiple points of touch. It has 20 points of touch to be in fact. And I'll show you how we get to use that a little bit later in maybe a table format as well as this whiteboard sort of format. Can also use a pen. You'll notice that they have magnets. They just stick to the front. So when I use this, I can write up there with ease. Use our hand as an eraser. Remember I said it was easy to use, right? All right, so with this, you can go and save anything that you've done there on some of the cloud storage. So if you're using Google or if you're using Microsoft, you can go in there and begin to save these things that you do right out of the box. So if I just add my account, now all I have to do is log in. All right, so some extra things that I want to point out to you on the ClearTouch 6000 series panel is that we also now have a store built in. So you've got all these favorite APKs and apps that you want to use. All you have to do is come over here to the store and you can immediately load those. So you can see a list of these apps that are in here. It's a curated app store. Basically what that means is that you're not going to get all these extra games and not a whole lot of like in-app paid to play kind of things that you want to do. So with this, if I just want to open up something like Google Earth, I can go in, can download it, and of course open it straight from there. So this one's already downloaded. I just hit open and we're ready to go. This part is awesome. With the 6000 series, I now have tools available on every single screen. So it doesn't matter what source I'm on or whether I had any annotation software loaded on my PC or on any PC for that matter, I can go in and immediately start working with this. Still works the same way as the other. All right. I mentioned the Getting Started. So on the Get Started section here, I can go in and it can just have this open up where we'll just open up the Getting Started page here and be able to see all of our extra videos, PDFs, and other training content. So it makes this really easy to use right out of the box for you. And it's also got training that's sort of customized for both schools as well as for businesses. So you'll be able to see all the different types of things you can do there. So one of the things that's also nice about the 6000 series is that you don't need a remote control. With this, all I have to do is just swipe up from the center and you can see, look at all of these different sources that we can go to. So with this, I can go over here to my optional PC and we can actually start using this right away to start doing different lessons. So at ClearTouch, we have lots of software that comes included with the panels. So one of the things that's nice about that is that we don't have subscriptions. We don't have licensing fees and other things that go along with that. But we do have a whole lot of things for you. So I'm going to mention a couple of different strategies and things that might resonate with what you're doing, but we have software that addresses your wireless connectivity, your BYOD, your flipped classrooms, as well as differentiated instruction. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ones of those right now, starting with EasiNote. So with EasiNote, what I had here was I had a lesson that is just ready to go. So this is just a quick lesson on World War I. So if I want to get things and just sort of move things around on the screen and sort of do my whiteboarding, very easy to do. Notice how I can very easily just pinch and zoom, can rotate things if I want to. And of course I can always write on top of things. Lots of choices with your pens. So I'll choose my favorite here, which is this one. So multi-touch, remember how we can erase as well. So a couple of things that are really rich inside of this software is that I can go in there and still be able to deliver all the different types of lessons that I wanted to, but now I have this touch capability. So if I wanted to, just come in here and start taking something that was a sort of boring old PowerPoint and be able to take this and make it come alive. Also got plenty of space in these to be able to take notes, because all I have to do is sort of zoom out and I can push things around over here and still be able to work with it. What's also nice with these too is you can take things like your videos and be able to go in, and not only can I run those full screen, but I can also take things and take pictures of these. So what you'll notice is that we'll start creating this sort of digital storybook. So notice that we've got all these different stats coming up. And we can create this nice storybook. Do you hear that sound? It's incredible. We've got two 12-watt speakers on this. So it's something where you may not even have to get any extra sound systems or other things for your room. Notice here how it actually brought those up and made me a digital storyline here. Of course, we can go in here and we can mark these up and still be able to work with this. You have all the different colors and different types of brushes as well. All right. So if you're adding things into your lesson, one of the things you can do is just move that out of the way. Look at that. So one of the things that we can do is we can also bring things in with our document cameras that we get from Touchboards. So with this, just go over here to use my tools. It's got some integrated tools ready to go so I can access things like that. And so with this, what I've got is an actual map that we had from our workbook. And what I can do is talk about different routes here that folks were taking. And you can see that physical movement there. You can actually see the actual document. So what I can do, of course, is take a picture if I want to, and those things end up directly in my lesson. If I want to save those types of things, very easy to do. All I have to do is just go in and say add it to my resources so I have it from now on. All right. There's other powerful tools inside of EasiNote as well. Things like being able to do a timeline, or being able to have a timer, or being able to also go in and have a spotlight and other types of things like that. So with this, if I just want to open up some of those resources, I can see those. Just really makes my lessons come to life. All right. Can also work on top of any source that we have. So we already saw how we can work with Android, but you're going, okay, I also want to work in something like Chrome or on another website. Very easy to come in here and be able to interact directly on the screen using some of the tools in EasiNote. All right, so one of the things that we also have for you is an ability to go in and do strategies like flipped classroom. And with flipped classroom, we can go in and we can use something like EasiCapture, where I can go in and start recording things that are on the screen as well as through a physical camera, things like a document camera or a webcam that I have in the classroom or in my office. So with this, all I have to do is just hit this record button, and now we've got an option to go in and start capturing the entire screen. Can also capture just the custom area, and of course I can also use different cameras that I have. You'll notice I have two different cameras connected now, and I also could have different microphones that we have connected, right? Things like something like a lavalier, or additional things like maybe at a laptop or others. So with this, I'm going to use the Panacast camera, and you'll notice that this particular camera allows us to be able to capture everything, including everybody. Everybody say hello. Yep. So with this, I can have the entire classroom, if I wanted to, still captured in this frame. And so from this, what we'll do is we'll go in and we will record. It does a countdown for us. And we can go in and we can do something simple. We'll just do a quick math problem maybe. Let's see. So we'll set one up here. Let's grab us a pen. So we'll set up a quick problem here. 2x plus 4 equals 16. So with this, I'm going to do something with multiple steps in there. And with this, the first step is going to be subtract 4 from this one side. But I know that if I do that from this side, I also need to do that from the other side. And just to show you a quick feature of this, we're going to stop short of this. So that 2x would come down here. These 4's cancel out, and we're left with 16 minus 4 is 12. So now we have some multiple steps that we have in our problem. What I'll do now is we'll just stop the recording. And remember, we said this was for flipped classroom, so what I can do, I can now take this recording. Can now take this recording that we have and be able to export that with one button. Remember, easy to use here, one button back out to an MP4. Something that would be able to be used on YouTube, on Vimeo, TeacherTube, or also uploaded to any of your cloud services. But we want to take it a step further. With this, I can also go in and I have a full video editor right here in the panel ready to go. Remember, we said there was no subscriptions and no extra licensing fees. So if you've been paying for something like this already, you're going to get it standard with the ClearTouch. So with this right here, we've got all kinds of capability to go in and cut things, to splice the audio, splice the video. I can zoom into different things, lots of capability for your classroom. At the end, one button, export to an MP4. All right, so we've covered some of the different strategies, but I've been standing here at this panel the whole time, and you're probably thinking, what happens if I want to be somewhere else in the classroom? So one of the things that I can do here is I can use EasyConnect. And with EasyConnect, we can go in and be able to connect our devices back to the panel and be able to work from anywhere else. So I'm going to switch sides over here so you can see some things. So with that, I would just need to scan that and be able to connect my phone. So let's try that. So I'm already connected. With this, I have a couple of options. So I can either send my screen to me or this screen to here. So a couple of ways that we're going to use this. If I just said, let me see a remote desktop, now I see what's on that screen and I can move things around. Pretty neat stuff, right? So with that, now I'm no longer stuck in the front of the classroom. I can always write on top of things. So with this, go in and I can write on the screen, and we'll see that up there. I can also capture things and put that up there. So if I go here now, I'm going to go into our project a phone. So now you can see what's on my phone, and I can share things from there. So we can even go full screen there. Think about the ways that could really transform your classroom or transform your meetings, right? All right. So now we're going to switch gears. I want to take a look at some differentiated instruction strategies that we have. We've always been asked about this, so how do we use that with the panel? One of the things that we do differently at ClearTouch is that we use SnowFlake Multi-Teach. With this software, I'm able to go in and immediately be able to use all the different apps that we have in here. So let's take a look at some of the different ones that we have. Some are pre-programmed and some are the ones that we can build. You have things like a lesson community as well, but just to kind of demonstrate right off the bat, I can go in and use something like MathBugs to say I want to do something like multiples of 10. And with this is a very simple game for multiplication. All the students really have to do is to find the multiples of 10 and smush the bugs, right? Kind of fun. So with that, all I have to do is begin finding those. If I get one wrong, it'll let me know as well. And when we're done, it gives us a score as well. So that's pretty neat, and that's pretty typical for what a lot of other manufacturers and other folks have. But with this, we went a step further. You can go in now and you can set up different zones. So I don't have to have just one full screen zone. Now we're going to take your interactive panel with 20 points of touch and really make that come alive. So now what we'll do is 2 zones. Your students will probably like this one, right? Yeah, it gets one student over here, get one student over here. I already know what you're thinking. So could they have a race? Absolutely. So if I get that side going, this side going, now they can work together. What I'll show you in just a moment as well is that we can also have 4 separate zones. Now think about this for a second before we transition to the table. But with this, what I can do is I can also go in and I can have this be able to show this to us flipped. You see how that worked? So now if I'm standing on the other side of the table, now it looks normal to me on that other side. I mentioned differentiated instruction though, so you're probably saying, Wes, how can I find more things that are differentiated instruction? What I can do is I can also go in here and I can work with multiplication right here as well, just like I have it here. It's the same thing delivered 2 different ways, and I'll show you some other examples of how we do that as well. So some other things that you're going to find that we just really love inside of SnowFlake Multi-Teach is going to be that you have a whiteboard, you have a way to bring in all of your media, and look at that, YouTube. Everybody's on YouTube now. So with this, we plugged in YouTube directly into this. So you're able to go in and you actually have an app that's a full YouTube app that will allow you to bring in those things. That's great. You're going, I've already got that on a browser. Could I maybe get some of those things in different tiles? Absolutely. So one of the things that we plugged in with this, with the media, was that I can now also go in and I can see multiple YouTube videos directly from here. So what I did is I just went and got some videos based on Machu Picchu here, and all I have to do is just bring those out. Look how easy that is. So think about your projects. Think about how much trouble that is trying to send that out to your students. And could I just go in here and have those ready to go?
High in the Peruvian Andes.
We can write on top of it. We can also take it full screen. And we also have all of our full controls over YouTube. Things like closed captioning and others already available inside of the software. You can get multiple browsers. What if I could have 4 browsers on the screen at the same time with students being able to do research and being able to utilize that in the media center or in the library? That's a game changer right there. We always get the question too, where do I find content? How can I go out there and be able to find those lessons that are already created, or how do I go in to do that? ClearTouch now has a lesson community. So with this, I can go out and I can search by age groups, by lesson types, by subject, all these different things that you're going to do. And I can go in and I can just be able to download those and run that straight from here. So if we wanted to have one just right away, so we'll get this one here. Just say download. Once it's ready, we'll open that up. Chose the one that was the biggest one on the screen, didn't I? All right, so we're going to open up this sea turtle lesson. So it actually gives you a little bit of a preview. There's a lot going on this screen, but it shows you that you've got all of your vocabulary or your sight words here, and you can deliver those things, and it looks just like this. Makes it very, very easy for you to create these lessons. And that's the finished product. So students are able to go in here and be able to match the correct things. One of the strategies that you'll probably use in your classroom is going to be differentiated instruction. And with that, we've already got a way to do this with SnowFlake Multi-Teach. So I want to show you how this is done. Over on this side right here, I've got some of our vocabulary words or our sight words from this week. And what I've got is an exercise that some of my students will be able to do here. But I also want to be able to deliver this same content, but delivered a different way on this side. So all I have to do is just open that lesson back up, and we have a variety of ways to be able to edit this. So I'll just go in and I'll edit that lesson, and you can see all the different ways that are already prepared for you, so you don't have to do a lot of extra work in order to deliver this lesson in a differentiated manner. So with this, all we have to do is just start working with our lesson directly. So we can both work on each side at the same time. And what you're noticing here is that I've got same content but delivered two separate ways, one of which might be kind of a game, another is more of a matching or location type of game. Should help to transform your classroom completely. So that was just a sneak peek of what all is in SnowFlake Multi-Teach. There's so much more, and we have lots of videos already online, both on YouTube and on the ClearTouch site, as well as at Touchboards. So with this, if we just exit SnowFlake, again, we have lots of different software that comes bundled with these. The fact that it's really, really easy to use, and you've already got the Academy. So everything's already included at a great price with ClearTouch. 5 different sizes on this 6000 series plus an extra one. So everything from a 55-inch panel all the way up to a 98-inch. I think we've got something for every huddle space all the way through your boardroom or classroom. Every single one of the ClearTouch panels in the 6000 series can be used as a table. So right now I have this on our tall mount, so you notice that it comes up to here on me, but I've also got some mounts that also come as low as my knees for pre-K or through pre-K through 2. So with this, now we can do more things than just be able to do this as a whiteboard. Now I can sort of start to interact with this more as a table. So if I wanted to have something full screen, like this piano for instance, makes that easy to do, right? But remember, we can already separate this into zones. So let's try some things with this and see how this works. So we'll close this. What I want to do is I want to open up some apps on each side. So we'll try on this side, I'll just set up a canvas. So I have our whiteboarding application here. And what we'll do is we can set it up to 2 separate zones. You notice 1 zone, 2 zones, 4 zones. Again, really easy to use here. We can also customize that if we wanted to, but again, we're all about ease of use. So if I just wanted to have something here and then also something here, like the media, what I can start to do here is I can begin taking notes on one side. So if one of you will help join me here. So I can begin taking some notes if I want to. And what you'll notice here is that this one is upside down for this side of the table. So it's very easy to change. All I have to do is go in and just rotate those windows. Look how easy that is. So now this is ready to go. So if I want this one here, I can go in and I can begin accessing all my files as well. So while he's working there, I can also be working completely over here. So if I wanted to rotate this window, it's that easy to do. So it's nice to be able to have 2 separate zones, because one thing is we can work at the same time, but now I want to get a lot of people around in the classroom involved with what we're doing on the table. So with this, we're going to go in and we'll change this up to having 4 separate zones. So now we each have individual zones. So if you guys will come and join me and just open up whatever app you want to open up, we should be able to see how we can all interact together at the same time. While this is going, you should begin to notice that everybody can work independently of one another, and we can also all still have touch on each separate area, just like it was its own individual computer almost. So if you're thinking about this for something like your media center or for something like your library, all of these things can work to be a center and can also run separate things. So we can have different browsers open, different YouTubes open, can be working on notes here, can be working on a science experiment here, working on something like social studies or geography over here. The other thing that's worth mentioning here is that you can also record everything that happens on the screen. So not only can I record individual sections, but I can also record the entire screen. So if I want to save work that someone's done, very, very easy to do, and we already know we have some of the built-in video editing that we can utilize there. The last piece that's worth mentioning is that it's great to have all of these on your Clear Touch panel and be able to put this into a table. But if you're thinking, you know, West, I've got a BYOD kind of project, or I've got a one-to-one project, I can still send every one of these things that we have back out to your own device. You can send it to Chromebooks, you can send it to iOS, to Android, to anything that you have currently through Lessons Online. Again, it all comes standard with your Clear Touch panel from Touchboards.